This is the final video of 2020 because the year is ending, but the news is definitely not ending anytime soon. A constant cycle. And it seems like we've been waiting till the end of the year to hear the strangest news from the famous Apple. They make one or two devices, maybe even three. But reportedly, according to Reuters, they are going to release something new in 2024, and that is a new car. This is strange. So reporters have been split into two ways. One camp is saying that Apple will definitely not make their own car. And the other side, this side says that they are not going to make their own car. They're going to make an agreement, a partnership with other car manufacturers. And the other side says, well, we've said this about Apple in the past, and they are going to build the Apple car. So let's stick with the fantasy land of an Apple car in 2024, a fully fledged, fully designed Apple car. I wonder how the hell would they achieve this and how would it look like? Apple are very, well, let's say conscious on releasing a new product. They have released products in the past that are first generation and they received backlash straight away. One that comes to mind is AirPods. AirPods, when they were announced, they were viewed as, a dental floss, a useless wireless version of AirPods, earpods. And people said Apple are just introducing a solution to the problem that they created by ditching the headphone jack. But after the years passed by, we've seen that these AirPods have been very instrumental in terms of the market, and they are, by every stretch of the imagination, in terms of business land, in terms of money, they are a very successful product. So AirPods are not a car. The other view of this is there is a major difference between developing everyday products, because Apple release very popular products like the iPhones and the Macs, and they sell millions of these devices at a very, very high margin. So high profit margin and high volumes. Millions of devices, and they profit a lot from every single device. And the difference between that and the car market is the cars are usually lower volume. Imagine how much would an Apple car cost and how many people are willing to buy it. And then if they add on top of that an Apple tax, how expensive would this car be? And is it feasible? Is it feasible in a business point of view to make this very ambitious thing? It's not saying that Apple won't do it. They definitely have the money and resources. But people are saying that this is a completely new beast. You're dealing with supply chains, different parts from different things, engines, and speed, safety, regulations. It's a completely different thing than developing your normal technology gadgets. And it's a very, very ambitious project. So the other camp is saying Apple are not going to be releasing their own car, but they're going to partner with other companies, just like Volkswagen, Toyota, maybe even the famous Tesla, to combine their expertise in technology and AI and hardware to improve the already existing and growing electric vehicle market. And reportedly, according to this Yahoo article, that is linked in the description, they're going to do that with two pieces of hardware. The first of which is the LiDAR scanner. The LiDAR scanner first popped up with the iPad Pro, and then we have seen it more famously with the iPhone 12 Pro lineup. And this sensor, a light detecting sensor, has huge potentials, but we haven't really seen it apart from camera advancements and maybe, virtual reality, augmented reality sort of thing. But in terms of car land, it could help a lot in automation. And the thinking is you would partner up with these car manufacturers and give them the technology that is developed by Apple, and I guess work out a way. Maybe you introduce the infotainment system. The dashboard becomes like an Apple Car exclusive or something that Apple gains. So I don't know. Apple doesn't really partner with other companies that much in terms of selling them their hardware. And the second piece of hardware is their battery technology. So they've been investing a lot in battery technology, and apparently, according to the Reuters report that says Apple will make their own car, that they are developing this new battery technology that will revolutionize how we think about electric vehicles. And that's why they said they will develop their own car. And developing a car is such a strange thing that is such a 2020 thing. Everything unexpected, every news thing happens in 2020. And I guess we'll see in 2021 which way the rumors go. Does the water flow to the direction of Apple developing their own car, or working with car manufacturers to improve already existing technology? And we'll stick with the Apple news for now. A few months ago, Fortnite has been banned from the iOS App Store, and I mentioned in a video previously that they've having trouble with the App Store and the prices are too expensive, so developers are complaining. So Apple has done something. They announced in November that they're cutting the App Store cut. There is a 30% cut of every transaction you make inside an app in the App Store. So Apple takes 30% and the developer takes 70%. And they're cutting that from 30 to 15 for developers who make less than $1 million. So according to this article by the New York Post, they have actually introduced it earlier than expected. It was expected to start in January 1st, and apparently as a Christmas present sort of thing, they have been cutting that thing down now. So it's a good thing for small-time developers, but it's an important thing to note that it doesn't really impact Apple's wallet that much. Because if you think about the amount of transactions made with apps making less than $1 million, which apps are you talking about? Like, I cannot name a single app that is making less than $1 million that I'd buy from. You know what I mean? If I'm a kid, I'm gonna buy V-Bucks or currency from Clash of Clans or a popular game or something. I'm not gonna buy I guess you get the idea. I don't need to explain. I'm not buying from little small companies. So how much money are they giving away? They have put in their usual quotes. They've said that this App Store small business program is a way for smaller developers to, quote, continue working to innovate and thrive during a period of unprecedented global economic challenge. So I guess that's nice for small-time app developers. Maybe it doesn't really change anything, but it sets a good precedent. And usually when Apple does something, companies follow along. And because I just said that, remember when the Apple company decided to ditch the chargers from the iPhone? Yes, everyone remembers. It was a big news thing. It was like, oh, wow, how are they doing this? And now Xiaomi are doing the same thing. Xiaomi, the phone manufacturer, they're doing the same thing with their Mi 11 flagship, according to Apple Insider. And these things have been predicted since day one. When Apple does something this big, other manufacturers would follow. And the strange thing is, as predicted, they make fun of it first. So Xiaomi made fun of Apple for ditching the charger, saying that we have everything included in the box. And Xiaomi is not the first company. Samsung is also, according to all reports, are going to do the same with their new S21 phone. There is no charger in the box, citing environmental changes. So, I mean, it's a case of I told you so to all of the people who are saying that Apple are the only company who's going to do this, because, well, companies follow along. Because if they say that, okay, Apple cut cost by removing something that people would buy extra for, so again, hooray, I guess, less chargers for us. And you can say that it's a good thing for people who make chargers, the companies who make chargers. They will gain so much more because now people are buying third-party chargers because no charger comes in the box. And one thing that we need to touch upon is Cyberpunk 2077. So the game that we always talked about, I think for the past 3 videos, is getting a class action lawsuit because investors are saying that the developer, CD Projekt Red, have lied with regards to how many issues there are with the game and bugs, especially with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox models. And this amount of hype is, there are things saying that they gave you false and misleading information. They said that it's gonna be a complete and playable game in January 2020 before pushing the release and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and then November is when the game was announced. This amount of backlash on this game is hurting the company's reputation for developing a game so good, but also, according to Steam, it is the most bought game of 2020, Cyberpunk 2077. So I guess something can be this divisive. It can be people love it so much that they hate it when it goes wrong. So many people love this game as evidenced by the hype around it, but because there are some flaws, well, this is what you get. So people are suing the company now, and I guess it's very hard if you're doing such an ambitious project. You are afraid of releasing it before it's ready, and because of the amount of pressure they had, they released it, and now they're getting backlash. I really kind of side with the developers here because it's not an easy thing to do to develop a massive game with this amount of attention around it, because every single mistake is probably magnified because of how much people are interested in the game. And my final piece of news of 2020 basically is Warner Brothers, the movie company, the movie distribution company, have decided to release all 2021 movies. So all next year's movies will be released on the streaming services HBO Max. And that was strange because the question I had, and probably you are having, if all the movies released by Warner Brothers are going to be released on HBO Max, why bother going to the cinema? And 2020 cancelled many things in 2020, but maybe they cancel things forever. I mean, when can we return to normal? And would the new normal lack the interest in sitting in a packed area with food and a tight space watching a movie for 2 hours? And AMC, the company that runs many theaters in the US, and I'm guessing many more locations, maybe worldwide, are very afraid, and they don't like this change because if you can stream a movie when it's released online, why even bother go to cinemas? TVs are getting less expensive and more, accurate and more stunning. Home delivery, everything, as we learned by 2020, and you can even do watch-alongs if you don't want to be physically near each other and watch the same movie. I know I've done that. So 2020 have been an interesting year, a very weird year with a very weird number of things happening. And I wish by the end of it that you enjoyed learning from it. Even though these experiences are tough, we learn from it. That's something we definitely do learn. And now we have a story for the ages. We have a story to tell everyone who did not live this very strange year. So I guess the last thing to say is, if you're celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and see you in 2021.